I'd like to welcome all of you. My name is Doug Price. I keep saying it's uncomfortable to me. I'm the new president and CEO of Rocky Mountain PBS, with a vast career in broadcasting of almost 4 months. But I have many friends in the room, and I think that it's terrific to see so many people interested in this topic. So let me confess, as we at PBS follow the three nons: non-secular, nonpartisan, and non-advocate. So we have to be alert to what we do. And so I have to confess something in my former life before I move forward. I am a trustee of the Committee for Economic Development and have been for a while, longer than I care to admit. Not true. But I also sat on the panel, the subcommittee that worked on this particular project. That being said, at Rocky Mountain PBS, we've done a terrific job, I hope, of creating a body of work that talked about healthcare reform. Both together and separately, we've talked about a range of options that the taxpayers should have, that the payers for services should have with respect to reform. Today, it's a great opportunity to talk about, at the core of it, a national perspective, which we've not done yet. We're using our partnership with the Committee for Economic Development today to do that. And then we'll have a panel of our friends from Colorado across a broad range of backgrounds and philosophies to further discuss what we need to do. So it's really with some pride that I get to introduce this panel. We're delighted with the room. I think Charlie last night at dinner said he was stunned by just how many advocate groups, how many important people we had in the room to be part of this. A little bit about the Committee for Economic Development. For those of you who know the Marshall Plan and McCain-Feingold campaign finance reform, they were the driving force behind both of those issues. I'd like to say it's the moral voice of the business community. The current project we're all working on is restoring trust in business, the core ethical dimension of what we do in a capitalist society is important to have, and the trust that's there. So we talked a lot about that, and that's an example of the next initiative. It is possible to be a supporter of the Committee for Economic Development, and I would encourage you, if you're interested, to see me and visit about that. Again, Charlie's been a terrific friend for probably 15 years now, has been a great supporter. For those of you who know me from early childhood, we had a relationship, not from being young, but because I never was young. I'm a banker. I was born with a bow tie and braces on, not on my teeth, but suspenders. But Charlie was one of the early adopters of this mantra of supporting young children as a central development feature and a health feature. And Committee for Economic Development has helped nationalize, through opportunities to speak, the Qualistar early learning model. The next person I get to introduce with great pleasure is the mayor of Denver. There's a minor problem that we both share, however. We ran around this town when we were in our 30s. And I will start out by saying, on balance, we're very proud of what we accomplished. But one time, John was at a chamber event, and he said, when he jumped out of the airplane, he said, my wife thought that jumping out of a perfectly good airplane was the dumbest thing I ever did. And I said, John, she's either not known you long enough or you've not been entirely honest with some of the things we did when we were in our 30s. So we'll have to be careful about those issues. The mayor of Denver, and whenever I text or email him, I like to write Mr. Mayor. Governor Lamb is here, and one time he said, please call me Dick. And I said, no, you've earned the right for me to call you Governor. And when I want to be informal, I'll just say Gov. But I always enjoy saying Mr. Mayor when I write him, because it's wonderful to see a friend accede to the highest levels of government. I think he's one of the brightest politicians of our generation. And I also said, John, your feelings are going to get hurt. I won't support your run for mayor. So that shows you that I'm not the cleverest cowboy in the corral. But through that, we've remained good friends, talk to each other often. And I know that the city is so much better for having him be a part of it. at any time, I'll do whatever he needs for me to be helpful to him, and I would say that he's reciprocated that. We are very fortunate to have America's best mayor, John Hickenlooper.